So here in the last slide we had come up to the Fz is equal to 2 mj mu b del b by del z. Acceleration was a is equal to f by m, and it is uh, nothing but acceleration is equal to 2 mj mu b del b by del z 1 by m, where m is the mass of the silver atoms, L is the length of the path of the beam through the magnetic field, and v is the velocity of the atom. Then the time taken to travel through the field is equal to L by v. It is very clear, time will be L by v, and the displacement of the atom along the z axis on the coming out of the field z is equal to half at square, that is equal to half a is equal to we had found out 2 mj mu b. Mu b is the Bohr magnetone, mj is the magnetic quantum number, total magnetic quantum number, del b by del z varying field along the z axis, 1 by m is the mass, 1 by m is the mass, m is the mass, L square by b square is the time. So according to the Maxwell's distribution law of the velocity, we know that v is equal to under the kinetic theory of gases, we know that v is equal to under root 3 kT by m. So substituting it here, we see in the place of velocity, if we put it, z is equal to half 2 mj mu b del b by del z L square by m, m upon kt, 3 by 3 kt. So we get 1 by 6, it is equal to 1 by 6 into 2 mj mu b L square by kt del b by del z, and mj is equal to plus minus half, we know. Therefore 2 mj mu b is equal to and plus minus mu s, this is equal to plus minus mu b or Bohr magnetone, because mj is equal to plus minus half, so half into 2 will be 1, so it is equal to plus minus mu b or Bohr magnetone. Putting this value in equation 7, we see z is equal to plus minus 1 by 6 mu b L square by kt del b by del z. It means z has got two values. It means the distance traveled is two values in the z direction. So we see there are at the central place where on the glass plate the silver vapor was to fall, now it is deviated into two parts. Thus the maximum displacement of the atoms at the center of the trace in the two direction alongside the central position, the result gives the experimental confirmation of the space orientation of total magnetic moment vector mj and the spin magnetic moment vector ms. So the spin magnetic moment vector ms is its presence has been confirmed, because for the normal ground state L is equal to 0, so ml was 0, and j is equal to half, s is equal to half. So we see mj is equal to plus, j is equal to half, mj is equal to plus 1, for s is equal to half, ms is equal to plus minus half. Thus the whole magnetic moment of the silver atom is due to the spin of one of its electron. In equation 8 there are two values of z corresponds to the two values of ms is equal to plus minus half, which give rise to two opposite sign orientations, and in place of single trace we had two distinct traces on the above glass plate, and one above and one below the central trace line. The experiment also gave an experimental verification of interaction between L and S, and also their associated magnetic moments, as well as the space quantization of the total magnetic moment vector mu j. Stern and Gerlach experiment was designed to detect the magnetic dipole moment of the atoms. So for this, a beam of neutral atoms possessing an intrinsic magnetic moment is passed through an inhomogeneous magnetic field. Thus the Stern-Gerlach experiment has been explained, and in a nice way, and it could prove that the presence of spin and associated spin magnetic moment could be proved by the Stern-Gerlach experiment in the form of the deflection of atomic beams in non-uniform magnetic field. Thank you very much. Thank you. This was the Student Gerlach experiment.